Hi there, this video is going to show you how to speak more naturally in English, which will help any English learner, and also how to do this in exams. So the information in this presentation is going to help you to do better in any English speaking exam, especially the IELTS. In this lesson, I am going to challenge you. I'm not just going to give you information. So your first challenge is to look at the meanings listed here. Always busy, always willing or keen to do something, makes me feel crazy, and to have a dance. And what I want you to do is then to look at the next slide, which is our first answer to an IELTS health topic question. And I want you to see if you can work out which idioms and which less common word match the meanings listed here. So here's our sample answer to the question, what things do you do to look after your health? Well, I'm an office worker and sitting still all day drives me nuts. So when I'm not in the office, I'm always on the go and I'm always up for almost any type of exercise, really. I play squash and football and I'm usually game for a bit of a boogie on a Saturday night. So we were looking for always busy, always willing or keen to do something, makes me feel crazy, and to have a dance. Here again on the screen is the answer, and it's going to be there for another 2 or 3 seconds to try and help you see if you can work out the matches between these idioms and the less common word and the meanings that were listed on this slide. So there again is what you were looking for. There again is the answer. Now let's see if you got this right. If something drives you nuts, it makes you feel crazy or mad. If you're always on the go, then you're always busy or active. If you're always up for something, then you always want or are willing to do that thing. And the expression always game for something means exactly the same thing. To boogie is a slang word meaning to dance. Apologies for that particular dancing. So, another challenge. This time, I have listed for you 2 idioms, 1 less common word, and 4 phrasal verbs that you are going to see in the next answer, which is an answer to an IELTS Part 2 or long-term question. And I want you to see from the context if you can work out what these words mean. For that reason, I'm going to read this answer twice, once quickly and the second time more slowly to give you a bit more time to try and solve this exercise. So, talk about a time when you were ill. Well, I remember a time when I became really rather ill quite quickly. It didn't seem to be any kind of serious issue to start with. I just felt a bit under the weather. It just seemed to be a bit of a sniffle. I was bunged up and had a bit of a scratchy throat, but I didn't think anything more of it. I remember I went out dancing with my friend, but then I started to feel really ropey, and the next thing I knew, I'd passed out. I think my friend thought I was just drunk because she turned down an offer by the nightclub staff to call an ambulance and plunked me down on her couch instead. I had a raging fever, and I ended up having to spend a couple of nights in hospital. So here we have it. We also, incidentally, have some collocations, which are when words are joined together, rather appear together very often, much more often than by chance. So here is the answer. Again, well, I remember a time when I became really rather ill quite quickly. It didn't seem to be any kind of serious issue to start with. I just felt a bit under the weather. It just seemed to be a bit of a sniffle. I was bunged up and had a bit of a scratchy throat. But I didn't think anything more of it. I remember I went out dancing with my friend, but then I started to feel really ropey and the next thing I knew, I'd passed out. I think my friend thought I was just drunk because she turned down an offer by the nightclub staff to call an ambulance and plunked me down on her couch instead. I had a raging fever and I ended up having to spend a couple of nights in hospital. So, here are the meanings of these expressions. To feel under the weather or to feel ropey means to feel ill. Then we have three collocations. A serious issue. This means the same thing as a big problem or a major problem. So the adjective serious collocates with issue. The adjective major collocates with problem. Scratchy throat. Scratchy is an adjective which describes that feeling when your throat feels very dry. So it collocates with throat when we talk about an illness. It goes together with throat. Raging fever. Here the adjective raging means very high, and it collocates with the noun fever when we talk about illness. It means that you have a very high temperature. The phrasal verb bunged up means that you can't breathe through your nose. So you probably speak a bit like this when you have a cold. If you are passed out, then you've lost consciousness. So that's often what happens if you drink too much or if you've had a really bad bang to the head. If you turn something down, then you do not accept an offer of something. For example, a drink or a slice of cake. If something ends up in a certain way, then that is what happened in the end. The less common word plonked means to put something, or in this case someone, down without being very careful about it. So this is the simple past tense from the verb to plonk. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with some other useful phrasal verbs that you can use to talk about illness. To throw up. To get over an illness means to recover from an illness. We also use get over to mean to feel better if you've been upset. I was upset when I broke up with my girlfriend, but I've got over it now, for example. To come down with an illness and to pick up an illness both mean the same thing, to catch an illness. So, I hope this video has been useful. If it has, please subscribe using the icon in the bottom right hand corner. You will also find lots of other videos, useful videos about the IELTS exam in my playlist, linked at the top here where the I is. So I hope it's been useful. Look out for my next video when I'll teach you more advanced English vocabulary. I think I'm going to do it about the common IELTS topic of sport. If you prefer to see a different topic, then please post in the comments section below this video. Also, if you have any questions at all, please post in the comments section below this video. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.